Welcome to the No Hangover podcast.
You can check us out on all our platforms: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, now with video. Our social media platforms: Instagram at No Hangover Podcast and TikTok _hangover. Enjoy. Fucked. Super fucked.
All right.
Speaking of Twitter, good old Elon.
Boom. Buying shit up. Imagine
boy.
spending $44 million. And it's
Not
just
million,
like,
but
billion. My bad.
Bees.
$44 billion.
44
like,
bees on that bit.
It's like really nothing, honestly.
I saw the
It's just
meme where it was Hezbollah. It was like, imagine Elon's face when he finds out that everybody else downloads Twitter for free. And it's Hezbollah doing like...
Oh, shit. And how much? Because how much was it over the asking price or like the...
I don't. It was pretty. I mean, it was around like 42.
It was
42.
well over it.
No, it was estimated
what Twitter
at-
was worth?
It was estimated.
I mean,
at
but
like
you're always
44
buying
or
above
something.
what worth because you're projecting.
Well,
above
yeah,
what
but-
Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, so
true.
What's his net worth right now? Like 200?
196.
196?
it might have.
I mean, it might be over that, but I'll look it up real quick.
Well, after he bought Twitter, that shit went down because he had to spend some moolah.
Yeah, but now he has that value. So did it go down?
264 bill.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So he still clears 200 bill.
He spent $44 billion.
That means
I'm good.
I mean, he's
He's like-
I'm sure he's not hurting.
Not at all.
He wipes his ass with that.
I don't think anybody wipes their ass with 44 bill.
Elon Musk.
Fucking-
Elon Musk
It's a
does.
fifth of his net worth. Do you wipe your ass with a fifth of your net worth?
He does.
I mean,
It's just gonna make him more
our
money.
net
though,
worth,
in
though, is
reality.
a lot different than his. When
Yeah.
it's $44 billion is nothing, and that's, I mean, he could do that how many times more over?
5. That's a fifth of his net
Fucking
worth.
spend $44 billion.
I mean, did you
5
see like the
times.
reference or the one I sent you about the football club?
Oh, yeah, about the soccer clubs that he's worth.
I mean, he
more
could buy
than-
the NFL like
Yeah, he could.
Twice
It
over.
was showing like all the stuff he could
Maybe
have
not.
buy.
They have.
He could
don't-
literally buy almost like I think it's like 15 NBA teams.
Yeah.
Didn't they have that Jeff
Out of the 30?
Bezos fucking counter thing that you could just start typing in random shit and see how much of it you could buy, like fucking jet
Sure they
planes?
do.
and
that's
shit.
incredible.
Yeah, it was like a website or some shit like that.
Sure they do.
People have way too much time on there.
It's
yeah,
like,
like
God
he
damn.
could have bought so much other things, but he bought Twitter and
Which, by the way, like people that are fucking complaining and bullshitting, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you could have solved world hunger and done all this and that, whatever." It's like, fuck, the government takes our
He's
money every fucking year and doesn't solve shit.
It's,
So like,
it's his money.
Plus,
exactly,
he's the
exactly.
only
Let him
person-
fucking do what the fuck he wants.
plus though as a
Who's looking?
as a millionaire / billionaire, he is the only person that said, "You show me where exactly this money will go, I will spend this money.
Yeah,
I will try to solve world hunger." But
I mean,
you
he
gotta show
didn't
me.
put a patent on electric charging because he wanted the world to be better. I'm not saying Elon Musk is the moral compass for the world, but
considering how rich he is, I feel like his moral compass is pretty.
I feel like he's
It's
a
pretty
good
good for
guy.
being-
we don't know these people.
No,
we just
don't.
like Elon more than
But
Jeff Bezos.
I mean, but you go through Elon Musk interviews and things like
He
that,
seems cool.
and he seems like he's for being as intelligent and as rich as he is. I feel like he's as down to earth as you could be,
yeah.
in my eyes. Again, we don't know him obviously.
But you want to talk about how quick the world will turn on you when you buy Twitter, and it's like, what is your reasoning? I would like everyone to be heard.
No,
Fuck you, Elon.
Yeah. His claims of buying it, he literally claimed to give people back the freedom of.
You wanted to give Donald Trump his Twitter back.
Well, not just Donald Trump, but like.
I mean, that was the first thing he tweeted about.
that was the underlying. Well, he wanted me to get back on Twitter. That's what it was.
That's yep. He was
Thanks,
basically
Elon. I'm
like
coming back.
Elon's whole thing. He went on like this tweet, like not barrage, but like he was kind of tweeting through it on the timeline.
Yeah.
He was just like, where are we if we're just like yelling and just one sided and we can't like hear the other side, like even if they're wrong.
Yeah, he was like, Twitter should be a side where you can get bashed by the left just as much as you can get bashed by the right.
Yeah,
He's
And
like,
he's
it
like,
should be
and he
equal.
posts memes and stuff like that. Like Elon's like,
he's the ultimate troll.
He's a chill guy.
He's a troll.
he is a troll. Do the Doge tweet, Elon.
For real.
Do the tweet.
Well, when he bought fucking Twitter, Doge went up like to 16, 17 cents.
Once it gets to $1.
Bro, I still got shit in Doge, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, I got a
I'm
lot.
waiting.
Not a lot, but
Where's
I
the
got.
Doge dog?
I
Bro,
got a couple.
isn't that a Shibu? How do you say it? Shibu.
Are you having a stroke?
I can't. I'm trying-
I literally was like,
Are you smelling burnt toast?
I forget what the dog's
out here,
name is
get it out.
called. fuck?
I don't know.
A Shiba Inu or some shit like that. Those little.
Oh yeah. It's a dog.
We should make him the president of the world. Might as well.
Well. All right, listen.
SpaceX,
if you got enough
Tesla,
money to buy
Twitter.
and
That's a
honestly,
trifecta
to
right
buy-
there.
I'm pretty Elon down. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I have no issue with Elon, but to go off of what Eric said, I do not believe that he's qualified to run the entire world.
Why not?
It's basing off of one man's values.
I don't think anyone should be running the entire world.
Well, yeah,
nobody.
I don't think so.
I don't even think the people running our country should be running our country. So you think one man should be running the world?
Who else?
Nothing.
Nobody.
A group effort. I mean, we've
I mean,
been we've
has
been trying to
be.
make
It's
it a group
supposed to be
effort,
a
and
group
it's been.
or it should be a
you
group
know,
effort.
I feel like we've been kind of on a downward trajectory. Trajectory. Goddamn.
All right,
I
we're taking you to the hospital after this.
I think the world's
gotta get
getting,
your vitals
I think the
checked.
world's getting better.
Yeah.
We just complain more about dumb shit.
I've said this.
Depends in
before,
what sense of the word.
We're getting
better.
healthier. We're living longer.
Is that necessarily a good thing though?
I mean, if as far as like the human species,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right.
we're evolving.
for us personally.
But
yes.
we are fucking running our resources dry.
We are.
I mean, Elon Musk we're trying to be a multi-planet species, trying to get us to Mars.
He's trying to do some things, but
SpaceX.
will it happen?
He'll
We
do
shall
it.
see.
Have you seen that documentary on Netflix about it?
About SpaceX.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's actually pretty good. It's kind of long though. It's like 2 hours long, but they interview him. Like he gives some testimonials, like the people who are the actual astronauts on there, the actual process. Like it's actually pretty interesting. Like it's not as boring as
A normal
you
documentary would be.
Well, not a normal documentary.
Documentaries aren't boring.
Just
Not
like
all of them. Some can.
depending
on what it is.
what as far as how much we can understand about space travel and fucking shit like that when they're trying to put it in like layman's terms and shit like that. It's pretty interesting, but
Did you guys, or have you ever seen? Clearly, I would think you have seen it by now. But have you heard before this, like the Truth Social, like the Truth Social app?
Nope.
Never.
Never.
no, I haven't
So
honestly.
basically, I guess that became. It's like the number one.
Isn't that what? Didn't Donald Trump say he was gonna make his own?
He is on that, but
Social media
I don't know
platform?
if he created that, but whatever platform. I know he's on that platform,
Right.
but for instance, that platform, Elon was bashing it in his tweets too. That thing basically came about because Twitter basically took people's
Yeah.
freedom of saying whatever the fuck they wanted away.
Yeah.
So this app came about, and it's like the number one trending
I
app
mean,
on Apple
really?
and Google.
I will say,
Let's look it
in
up.
Twitter's defense, Twitter should be able to like stop people from
What is it called? Truth Social.
posting like hate speech and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it on both sides.
I'm talking about hate speech.
Yeah, Truth
Yeah,
Social.
and I see it. Damn, 4 stars. The thing with Twitter is that they're really quick to block conservative things, and I've seen some liberal ways of thinking when I was on Twitter that was like, holy shit, like why are we just fucking, if we're gonna block certain conservative tweets and thought processes and shit, this liberal and left thought process is kind of damning and damaging as well. You should block that as well.
This
And
thing
it was
Yeah, I'm
kind
not
of
talking about like conservative or liberal speech. I'm talking about like just non-political hate speech.
yeah, like hatred.
oh well, Twitter's fucking full of that. Twitter's full
Twitter
of fucking
is-
people fucking
No,
shitting on each other
I'm
and
not talking about
bashing
shitting on each other. I mean
I get
when people have posts that say like all like
hurtful hate.
all Jews
Like
should
racist
yeah,
shit.
and you're like, all right, well,
Yeah, racist shit is different, but
I don't know. That's kind of the reason why.
like I'm cool with Alex Jones never tweeting again. I'm cool with never seeing an Alex Jones post again. Donald Trump doesn't like I don't like the guy, but it doesn't offend me as a human.
yeah.
Like,
According to him, he says like even if Elon does unban him, he wasn't gonna go back
Yeah.
to Twitter,
I don't know.
which I feel like is probably
that's part of the
okay,
reason
too.
why I got off of Twitter though, because I just felt like Twitter was just kind of like a toxic
it's
place.
a cesspool.
It is, and it's just like oh,
It always has been though.
No,
It
no.
hasn't. I mean, it's had elements of it, but it was
Since I first joined Twitter, God only knows when.
it had elements of it, but it got to the point where it was just like, oh my god, like
You have to do a lot of filtering now to get what you want out of Twitter.
Yeah,
What I want out of Twitter is just jokes.
Joined in June 2011.
I just like the memes.
and
Been
that's
toxic
why I
forever.
kind of stick to Instagram now, and more than anything, like I'm barely
Instagram's
on
my
there.
shit.
because I just want to see memes, and that's about it. Like a lot of the thoughts, especially it's like the people, like the actual people that I'm following on there, like on Twitter, it's like, man, I don't even really care about what you're tweeting about. Like, I just want to see funny shit. And people will be like tweeting their whole lives and shit. I'm just like, wow, like I don't care.
Yeah.
It all depends on what people are
That
like.
mute button's a motherfucker.
I've never even.
Muted people is fun. You don't get the privilege of knowing that I blocked you. I just don't ever hear from you.
Who was talking? I was listening to Colin Cowherd the other day, and he was talking about that. Him and Joy Taylor were talking about if they because Colin Cowherd was saying that he just mutes people, and Joy Taylor was saying I just full on block them and this, that, whatever. And he was saying like I get the enjoyment of muting you, like you don't get the satisfaction of knowing that I blocked you, but
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty fucking good point.
Colin Cowherd knows what's up. It's like when you have your third wife. It's all Colin talks. Everything, every like sports topic becomes a metaphor for his previous marriage, and it's just like, all right, well.
He does thought-provoking sports talk.
He's like, Aaron Rodgers is like when you get married in a great situation. You're like, all right.
You're like, wait, what?
Who are we talking about?
That is the herd. If none of y'all have
Shit,
heard it,
that is a gift. I mean, that's really that. Who else do I listen to? I listen to Ryan Russillo. He has him on there from time to time.
Russillo's awesome.
I like Chris Broussard for basketball stuff. I like his opinions and his take on shit.
I feel so bad for Russillo.
Didn't he fucking walk into somebody's house drunk as shit and fall asleep on their
His
couch?
room key worked.
That's
I feel so bad for him. His room key worked on somebody. He was sitting at a resort in Wyoming. I'm a huge fan of Ryan Russillo, if you're hearing this.
if you listen.
He like
Damn, if he listens to us and shit.
He was drunk, and he'd spend all day. He was canoeing out in the river. He got home, room key on the room. It was like in a resort, so all the rooms doors looked the fucking same. Room key works, opens up the door. Falls asleep in the bed. And the people who are staying in that room come home and call the police, and he got arrested. It's like,
Get fucked.
he didn't get charged.
He was still working at ESPN, right?
He got suspended for ESPN because of it.
but it was
yeah.
the fucking key. Blame
Yeah,
the
but
key.
ESPN doesn't know that. They just got to come down with suspension right away. And they got to protect the brand.
Yeah, they gotta
Protect
cover
the
their ass.
fucking brand.
Yeah.
The sheet.
I'm not mad. I mean, they got to do what they got to do.
Yeah. It's a business at the end of the day.
But now he's not even at ESPN. He's at the Ringer.
She's like, fuck you guys. I'll
I
sleep
think,
in what
I think
I'll
they're
sleep
still,
in whatever hotel room I want.
I think they're still amicable. ESPN and Ryan Russillo. He's on Scott Van Pelt all the time.
Did he? I don't like how they dropped a lot of people though. They fucking revamped that whole thing, and like, I don't really like a lot of their new personalities. I think they gave Stephen A. too much fucking. He plays into his role way too much. Like he feeds into that shit way too much. Cause I was watching a pregame. It was either a pregame or a halftime, and it was him, JJ Redick, and
JJ is the best.
I do like JJ Redick.
JJ is.
Listening, and but he started off with a whole fucking and started fucking yelling. It's like, bro,
In
this
character.
yeah, like during the fucking pregame, like, bro, like this is pregame, like
NBA
relax.
primetime?
Yeah, not even
Coast to coast.
I think they were on the sideline doing a playoff pregame shit. And he started with his whole thing. I'm like, oh my god, like, and you could see JJ Redick getting fucking annoyed. I'm like, oh, it was Richard Jefferson too, but it's like,
And now they have Mad Dog on there. And if you don't know who Mad Dog is, like, who gives a fuck? Like,
on ESPN.
yeah, he like is on like First Take all the time now.
Oh wow,
It's like, bro, like I'm not
First Take
I'm
isn't
not
even-
from New York in
Yeah.
the '80s.
First
Like,
Take isn't even that good anymore. I don't
I
like.
think it's Mad Dog.
I don't like any of their morning shows. The Get Up shit is not good to me anymore.
ESPN has not been good in years, but what they do good at, they're the best at. Like live sports, I
Yeah.
don't think anyone competes with them.
No problem.
And now that they got Aikman, Joe Buck,
for Monday Night Football,
Herbie,
that's right.
Herb Street,
That is right.
I think Nance is coming over.
Is he really? Damn, they fucking
Like they're dropping bags on people. I mean, because they're trying to get the Super Bowl.
Mike Tirico and fucking Chris Collinsworth. I like Mike Tirico.
They get the Super Bowl.
Chris Collinsworth sucks.
I don't think. I know you don't really you don't like him that much.
You
I
know,
don't think he's that bad.
The thing is, Al, this guy. It's just because he has so many tropes. Like I watch a lot of football, and like, just hearing the same arguments over and over. Like Russell Wilson, can you believe this guy's never gotten an MVP vote? Like, yes, I can, because he's not the MVP. He's never been.
He's going to be the MVP this year.
All right,
watch. They're going all the way to the bowl. To the bowl, the Broncos.
They'll finish third in the division.
I doubt it.
The Chargers are the Chargers. Justin Herbert's the shit, but
and the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah, they'll finish first, second. The Chiefs will probably win the division.
Right, and the Chargers will finish second.
Probably not, because they'll fucking choke it away at the end.
Well, Justin Herbert's a choke artist.
Well, we already know who I have predicted.
Well, they're not in that division.
I know this.
They have an easy route. They better get to that AFC fucking championship game every year.
Bro, Dolphins fans are the worst. God, they suck. All of them. All Miami fans are terrible.
Hey, relax.
My jammies.
You're a Dolphins fan now?
Miami Heat fan.
Oh, they're worse. They're worse than Dolphins fans.
Because
lies.
They think their shit don't stink.
Bro, Dolphins fans are like winning it all this year, and it's like,
it's like Cowboy fans.
Make the playoffs first.
Oh shit! Well, we got a little sidetracked talking about sports, but fuck it, gotta love sports. Bring us back, Jacob. Reel us back in.
All right, another thing good old Elon is doing.
We're done talking about the Don.
I mean,
the Oompa Loompa himself,
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange.
I haven't been checking up on the boys.
Don't kill us, Donald.
Nuke.
Oh, shit.
Nuclear strike right here. But with Elon,
it's gonna be
Tesla,
huge.
The little rocket man. That shit was pretty fucking hilarious.
They were just trolling the fuck out of each other. Easy there, Rocket Man.
You say what you want about him, but he made some quality content. That was some entertaining shit.
Oh, he was newsworthy for 4 years. Whether that's right or wrong for the president of the United States. Have you seen Dana White talk about him? Because you know Dana's a
good
Trump supporter.
Yeah, they're friends.
Yeah, they're boys. And he was like, they were talking about like how the Full Send podcast got taken off YouTube, like which I didn't even know was possible.
They got fully taken off YouTube.
Full Send when they interviewed Trump. The podcast you just can't find it on YouTube.
Well, they interviewed
just that
Trump
Jr.
too.
Just that episode.
They interviewed Trump Jr. too. Did they take that off?
Who cares about Donald Jr.?
I don't know. I mean, I figured if they're gonna do a dad like that, they'd do the son.
Could be because he was a former president, maybe.
But the YouTube like sorted it or cited it as like because the COVID conversation came up. But whatever, and they were like, Dana White was on Logan Paul's podcast, and he was like, "That's crazy that they could do that to that man." And he's like, well, they don't want political propaganda spreading misinformation. Like, they were trying to, kind of defend the reason.
Yeah.
Like, playing both sides. They do a pretty good job of that. And Dana White's like, he's not Alex Jones. Like, this guy was the 45th president of the United States, and we just treat him like he's some fucking buffoon.
A fucking buffoon. That's a good word.
I was like, yeah, we do kind of treat him like that, huh?
I mean,
he earned all of that.
He kind of did it to himself, but hey.
When you fly that close to the sun, Icarus.
It's part of the role.
He is a fucking.
You're gonna be
he
loved.
is a president.
You're gonna be loved by some, hated by some. It's just part of the role.
He was loved by some, hated by most. It would seem.
The people who love him are pretty loud.
They make up for.
Yeah, you don't know. Like, I don't know the true numbers in America. Like what his love to hate ratio would be. I don't know if it is.
I guess we'll find out because
50,
apparently he's going to run in 2024, and Sleepy Joe said he's running again too. So
Uncle Joe.
He said
if he survives,
he'll survive.
That's mean.
He'll survive.
Man is old as shit.
They're all old as shit. Everyone who runs for president is old as shit.
Valid point. Well, I mean, their criteria, you got to be over 35 even to be in the conversation.
They're double 35.
You think they would get someone closer to 40-ish?
Barack.
He was. How old was he when he went?
45.
I thought he was like 42 or something.
Yeah.
He came out looking like straight shit though.
I mean, 8 years of president will fucking do it to you.
The stress. That does not seem.
Joe at least went in looking like shit, so there's no like.
You can't tell the difference.
Joe's looked the same age my whole life.
Old as fuck.
But Joe was cool when he was with Barack. I'm not gonna do that. Back to Joe Byron.
Byron.
What?
Oh, you were just like looking
down.
Yeah,
I just zoned out for a second. My bad.
Byron.
I was like, what did I do?
Back to Joe Byron.
But yeah, he's old and
not at school anymore.
Yeah.
Never. I don't think he ever was cool.
No, don't do that. Joe was cool at one point.
I think the coolest thing he did was that meme of him and Barack Obama running. The gif of them running.
The meme where they were in the Oval Office, like during their exit stuff, and he was changing the Netflix password.
Oh yeah. No, that's not as cool as the running one.
Not as cool, but he was funny.
I mean, there you go.
Memes are funny.
They were a
I don't
good.
think
They made a good team as far as optics, and
They made you feel comfortable.
yeah,
Like
Hey,
Barack's like, all right, he's cool. And Joe's old.
yeah. That's the one thing we can always go. Joe's just old as shit.
He's like the old, he's the old Uncle Joe. Like,
Old geezer.
don't worry about him. The problem becomes when he's the guy in charge,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Now we got to worry.
now you got to
about
look at
Like, who's this
Kamala,
guy?
and you're like, not as likable. Nobody likes
it.
her.
Oh god. Some of her interviews though are just like, yeesh.
We did it, Joe. She even had a meme.
Oh my
We did it, Joe.
I just can't, like, politicians in interviews and just hearing them like bullshit their way to like in front of a national audience and people just buying that shit. It's just like, wow.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's one thing of us recording, in front of ourselves, and we watch it and edit it before
But
we
it's
give
like
it to
they're
you people.
lying. They're lying to the whole
But
fucking
that's why,
co-
you saw Don't Look Up. Like, that's
Yeah.
why that shit is hilarious.
It's just like, wow. And we just fucking, every year, we're just like, yeah, well just fucking vote for other people again that do the same shit and not
it's
really.
more than that, though. It's more than all right, because it's part of the process. You should vote. It's your civil liberty.
for sure.
I feel like you should be a part of the process. It's the people who fall in love with these people, and it's like,
Yeah.
none of these people are people you should
Honestly, look up to, admire.
Like, if you voted for Donald Trump, I disagree with you, but you're right, and you're allowed to do that. Don't when people fall in love with
start
the guy.
putting,
It's
but that goes back.
he
to
is not the Messiah.
That goes
but
back
it's-
to the point of people putting celebrities and figures on pedestals and shit. That shit gets you're towing a line there because when you're putting people on that level, it's like, oh well, you got to take into account everything,
real dangerous real
everything, and especially that it's just he's just a fucking guy.
And now we
He's
live
just
in
a
more
fucking
extremes than ever. I feel like Barack was maybe the last president where whether you liked him or didn't, he was just people felt the way about his policies.
Yeah.
Obviously, some idiots hated him because
he was the first president with social media.
Yeah.
So back to the Twitter shit, back to social media. That opens a whole new world, a whole new can of worms with shit because now you're able to show personalities. You're able to show your life behind the scenes and be not as exclusive. So now you're seeing shit that 20, 30 years ago you weren't seeing before from celebrities, presidents, athletes, guy down the street, person that bagged your groceries and shit like that. So you feel like people a lot more than you actually do. And
we say that though, but he's not the first president to be what he was, the cool guy who was elected.
No,
president.
I'm not saying that, but it's a different look inside of his life. People from back in the day, you can only see the outside. You could see Barack tweeting, "Oh, just stopped at McDonald's." No one else would know that unless someone physically saw him.
The accessibility is a whole different level. But as far as people looking up to them and praising them, JFK was a celebrity.
Yeah,
Reagan,
that has never changed.
Reagan was an actor.
Yeah, but to your point, just the accessibility to
you can tweet at Barack
Nixon,
and you can see it.
Yeah,
Nixon also was up there as oh, this guy. He was very popular.
But he wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't a celebrity before him.
Well, the famous story is the first video debates. The first time that they televised debates is Nixon got his ass destroyed because everyone loves JFK. He's a good-looking guy. He's on camera. He's personable. You're not reading it in the next day's newspaper about
the fucking cold hard facts that takes in.
Not saying the newspaper was ever cold hard facts,
but it gives you more of a what's it called? Your own personal take on somebody because you interpret it the way that you know how you're seeing it through your eyes, and he might be saying something that oh my gosh, like
Well,
that shit
yeah,
really
it's
fucking
just
resonated
the way
with me.
people
And,
view things.
and the way that people, talk and the influx in people's voices and the hand gestures and this and that.
And he was
all-
sweating his ass off. That's the famous story. Is Nixon's like sweating. And
fucking nerd. Oh my God, like what am I supposed to do?
like, John's just like, all right, like what do we got?
Cool, calm, and collected. But that shit, I mean, you'd be surprised how much that plays into someone's opinion on someone.
Yeah, your body language tells a whole different story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a certain person can view what you're saying entirely different than what it is you're actually saying, just because they're like, I don't like this man's man bun.
Yeah.
And just like
Real
everything out of this guy's mouth is trash, just because he's got a man bun. But it's not in reality. There's some good stuff out of there.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Gotcha.
I appreciate it. But that's where, again, tying back into the shit, freedom of speech. That's, what I guess Elon Musk is trying to bring back to the Twitterverse.
Freedom of expression.
I mean, you have freedom of speech, but Twitter.
He claimed he was trying to bring back freedom of expression, to where people, like you said, like you said, people can, it's actually been like that the entire time. Yeah. Anyways, people were saying,
good now.
you could say whatever, feel whatever, and as you were saying, you shouldn't just be getting bashed by one side, right or left. It should be equal, to where whatever you're saying,
equal opportunity.
If it's something good, someone should be able to counter it. If it's something bad, someone should be able to counter it.
Yes, that in theory is great. But I think people misrepresent what freedom of speech and freedom of expression means.
And the thing with Twitter is
you're allowed to have your opinion, and people are also allowed to fire you because of it.
Yeah. The thing with Twitter too is that they're a private company, right?
Right.
So they have the power.
They're
to,
not private. I think they're publicly traded, but
as far as
it's a public company.
Oh well, then never mind that, because I know
their stockholders are who owns the company.
Yeah, but you still can't be any like. It doesn't mean that they can't shut you down. Like you can say whatever you want, you can post whatever you want, and they can take you down.
Yeah, just like
Facebook's a publicly traded company, and you can't post anything on Instagram. They're owned by Facebook.
Yeah, correct. That's why I was just bringing Instagram up. Like you post something a certain way, they're gonna flag it. They're gonna take it down.
They have terms and guidelines that you agree to when you don't read those fine print and just press accept.
For real. But I also feel like people are taking it like social media isn't the only way to express and talk. It's the easiest way to get your point across and get a lot of people to see it. But you could literally just, like we're doing, get some mics. The
problem becomes when you have nowhere to put that stuff.
Yeah. Like
when you can't put your opinion on YouTube because YouTube flags it as whatever, and Twitter flags it as whatever. Like, then it's like, can they just silence anybody that they want?
They're like, I need an outlet. I need to get this off my chest.
You can always make your own outlet.
There's always Reddit. There's always Reddit.
Oh my God,
Reddit is the dark hole of the internet.
That it is. I don't even have a Reddit, and I went on like some just kind of the little ones that they show you for like 30, or you can like get like a.
You don't have to have a Reddit to explore Reddit.
No, because every time I've gone on there, it's like I can only read like. If I want to read the rest of the page, I have to sign up and make a Reddit. Oh, then maybe it's just the shit that I was looking at, but
could be like the way you clicked into it.
Maybe. I don't know, but like, yeah, some of the shit on there is like, oh my God,
like r/conspiracy. You're shit. Like, you like read that for an hour. You're like, I hate the world.
I mean, fuck, I don't need that to hate the world. This world's a dark, dirty place.
Yeah, but they like show the dark, dirty stuff, and you're like.
There it is for you to read.
I probably didn't need to see people being massacred, but thanks.
Fuck. Well, I mean, that
was like on Instagram, Hoodville, or not Hoodville, fucking.
I know which one you're talking about.
Videos or something, whatever it was.
Well, they're showing people getting shot. There was, oh my God, there was one that.
The worst ones for me are always like the Mexican cartel ones, when they're like legit chopping their limbs with machetes.
It just seems like
I'm just
super
like,
fucking.
Why do I? And I'm watching it like I know better than to keep watching it, but I still am watching it. I'm just like,
it's like a car crash.
I'm like,
can't help but look away.
We're like addicted to that stuff.
I'm like, that's so, God, not a,
What was the
and
shit?
then they literally like stack them up and like put the head on top and shit. I'm just like,
I mean, that's human nature. That's primal.
That is not human nature.
It's primal shit.
Nah, killing someone is human nature.
That's primal
Doing
shit.
it like that is not human nature.
It's not, but I mean, to this point,
That's just pure evil.
the way that humans have evolved, it's primal.
Nah,
it is
ain't primal, bro.
That is. It is.
It is not primal.
You don't have to agree with it, but
cutting someone's limb from limb and then folding
Bro,
it and stacking them into a pile. That is
chimpanzees
not primal.
and orangutans will pull apart monkeys limb by limb.
That's because that's how they kill them.
They're in the fucking, and that's how they're killing
different.
these people.
They're killing them slowly by chopping them up. Like they could have killed them instantly, but
bro,
instead
I'm trying to tell
you.
Go do some research about how chimpanzees and orangutans and apes do kill and like their societal.
Are we chimpanzees?
No, but we're pretty damn fucking close.
No.
We're pretty damn close. Not horse shit. Bro.
We didn't come from monkeys.
You're right. We came from apes.
Nonsense.
Which is a type. Anyway.
We did not.
You just said fuck Charles Darwin.
Oh, shit.
Darwinism is bullshit.
Regardless of what you believe, animals and humans have a lot.
We are an animal.
Well, and I agree with you, but most people, when I say that, look at me like I'm a fucking. Oh my god! Like, what do you mean? Like that can't make sense.
No, our instincts, I get.
But that is primal stuff. Look at the animal kingdom and how animals do certain things and how they act on certain.
Orca whales are vicious.
Yeah, and but it's a thought. They have the mind capacity and the thought process to think these things out. But they're still wild animals. We are not as wild. We're a little bit more civilized, but we still have the thought process to do that shit, and that taps into our primal part of our brain.
Our primal is still, yes, using our bare hands. It's not using a machete to chop someone.
That is primal. It doesn't matter how you kill somebody.
What do you mean? How does it not matter? Your instincts are your instincts. That is not an instinct you have. Let me chop someone up limb by limb.
And just fucking beat the shit out of you until you die.
That's primal.
Or if I take this phone and beat the shit out of you.
That's still primal.
Okay, but that's
chopping someone limb from limb to
the weapon can change.
And to then stack them.
The weapon can change.
It's not beating them to death. Beating someone to death is a primal instinct.
Killing somebody with a weapon is primal.
Not the way they're killing them is what I'm trying to tell you. When they're sawing people's limbs off,
I think you have a different definition of what primal is. The primal instinct. I'm not talking about like being a fucking savage. I'm talking about that instinct that comes into you when you're in a fight or flight situation, or you're in a situation of control where you fucking feel the need, where you can impose your will on somebody. That is a primal feeling.
I'm not talking the way they're doing it. I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and maybe you're right on this, but I'm just saying the way I see it, I do not think that
those guys are also doing that. They know they're being videotaped.
They're sending messages. Yes. I understand that, but I'm just like
so that's going to your point where it's not their primal feeling. It's not their.
Yeah, they're doing it.
It's not their urge to do that. They know what they're doing. They know that they're sending a message. Like when ISIS was chopping people's heads off.
Correct. Like it's
not the fastest way to kill a man. You can shoot him in the head and kill him.
Literally, it's just something that it's like they're doing just for a reaction. So that's what I'm saying is I don't think that is primal. Unlike apes, I mean that's how they're killing them. They're usually not picking up a stone and bashing. They have. I'm not saying a monkey hasn't done that.
The movie 2001 literally starts off with that. A monkey picks up a bone from an animal and kills another animal.
Correct.
And it's like, this is how humanity got this way.
Yeah, it could be done, but I'm just saying.
But that's my point, is that the instinct is still there.
The instinct to kill somebody, we all agree. The instinct to kill somebody is primal.
I 100% agree with you that. I'm just saying the way the cartel
does
it.
Making a show
when they're sawing people's limbs off, and like, the person's still alive with one arm, without an arm, so then they're like, all right, let's get the leg next, see how long we can keep them alive for. That's mainly just to send a message. That's not a primal instinct of, I'm going to kill him. They easily can kill him. You can kill a man easily. Done. Quick. Done. But they're doing it slow to send a message, recording it the whole time, and then stacking it in a certain way so that they're like, fuck this cartel or fuck these people.
You guys remember like Rotten.com and shit like that? Where you'd see like fucked up shit?
Yeah. Could be, yeah. Could be the same sites.
Stuff like that. That was gross. You see like a woman getting her
What
head
was
cut
that
off.
But there was a website where it was like, I forget what it's called, but they had those like cartel shits and the shit. And like,
Rotten.com had that.
Is that what it? But I don't think that's. Because there was like around the same time that they had that Pain Olympics shit going on too.
That's where I got it.
For real? So then maybe that is what the website was called. But yeah, I mean,
some nasty shit though.
There's others, I'm sure.
Yeah. A lot of nasty shit on the internet.
Well, we're not nasty. We're clean. Good wholesome fun over here.
Somewhat.
No killing.
No killing, that's for sure. At least not yet.
We might hurt each other's egos a little bit.
It's like
we might come for each other's lives a little bit, but it's all in good fun.
All love around here.
Well,
you want to talk about your favorite thing? But
shit, if Elon Musk we're talking about weed is now federally legal. It's off the Schedule 1 list and all that shit. But imagine if Elon Musk would have fucking smoked that during or done that now when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. You think his stock still goes down? for a little bit. I mean, it only went down for a little bit, but his stock went down because he smoked weed on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yep, hit a joint.
That shit was a
People
fucking.
were like, "Whoa, now."
That was a stogie. That wasn't no joint. That was a fucking fat ass L. That was a cigar.
And he had the face.
That's a classic meme too. Real badass shit. But I mean, feel like that's something that most of us in here can get down with, get behind. I'm excited to see as far as like how it's gonna integrate with like social shit. Like, are they gonna be like weed bars, like there's hookah lounges and shit like that, or like things of that nature?
Yeah, not right away.
Yeah, not right away, but like as it progresses forward, like how regular is it gonna be? Like, because right now, I mean, there's weed stores popping up everywhere, smoke shops, just like liquor stores and shit like that.
If it's up, then it's up.
And it's up, and it's up, and it's up,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
the
up.
face. Yeah, I think that's just all it's gonna get to.
I mean, it's
It's not gonna be like fucking Starbucks where you're gonna see it on every goddamn corner.
I don't know.
But as far as you
I don't
see,
know.
I mean, there's a lot of hookah bars, and you don't really know a lot of people that
Yeah.
smoke hookah like that. You know a lot of people that smoke weed like that.
Yeah, it could become a very popular thing because, I mean, taking it back to when I lived in Washington, it was legal there. Not necessarily federally legal, but it was, on the state level, it was legal for them. So they had freaking dispensaries almost, and this is, dispensaries weren't like a medical card needed. It's just a valid driver's license. You walk in. Simple.
However, it gets regulated.
They had, I'd say 6 in like a 2-mile radius.
Those are dispensaries.
Yeah, I'm saying they have tons of them.
Do you think there's going to be lounges?
There's
and
not going to
shit?
be lounges.
Well, the only places I've seen lounges were in places where pretty much all drugs were legal. And where was this? Then no, not there.
Amsterdam?
There it is. Boom. When I was there, they had like weed
Like
cafes.
and shit, yeah.
Like you would go literally order coffee, roll a joint, smoke your joint while you're waiting.
The
for your
reason I don't
coffee.
think you're going to see them, this is my working theory, I could be dead wrong, is because when people, like the reason that there's a lot of hookah lounges is because when people go to smoke hookah, it's not just for that usually.
Mm-hmm.
There's typically drinks involved and music and stuff like that. People smoke weed for a bunch of different reasons, and it's usually, a lot of people smoke it by themselves in their house.
Yeah, to go to sleep.
People are not going to pay whatever amount of money to experience that same thing out and about unless it is sold with other things, or it is regulated that way.
Well, what
If
if
it's
so?
sold as
Like,
an
I'm thinking, like,
experience.
what if like a hookah lounge picks up and like incorporates weed and like marijuana in there already?
Then it'll become super popular, but it's not being sold as.
Yeah. But now that it's legal, I mean, maybe people are, and I don't know. I'm just, again, this is all a lot of speculation and shit. But like, people are taking the steps to do that, and like maybe in the next couple of years, I wouldn't be surprised if they allow you to smoke weed in a hookah lounge or something like that.
Oh, that'll be a thing.
I feel
something
like
that.
that will come around sooner than later. But I'm saying there might be lounges. You know how there's, like you said, hookah lounges. There's also cigar lounges.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're hitting that market, there are definitely going to be, if it's legal, there'll be more people willing to be like, oh, fuck it, just use this as, everyone smokes weed in here, that's fine.
Yeah.
We got some smooth jazz.
That's how it's regulated. But like if they come down and say it's regulated, like it's legal, but you can only do it in like areas where that's permitted, where like you can't do it at your house.
Correct.
Like you got to be at a place where like we understand that this is happening.
But I feel like they would never do that either, because then you go back to the issue.
You're killing your dispensary market.
Yeah, but I mean, I say that what I was about to say, I kind of killing my own argument, because you would think they would do the same with bars. But bars, they're like, oh, drink over there. They have a liquor license, but then you can't drive afterwards. So it's just like, well, what the fuck?
I mean,
It makes no sense.
It's a lot of.
But you can drink anywhere.
Yeah.
You can't drink outside. You can't drink in public.
Correct. You can pretty much drink anywhere, and same with
You can drink at your house.
smoking
And
weed.
you can drink at a bar.
Smoking weed, I feel like if they try to regulate it, where you could do it in a bar, you could do it at your house, the issue
You need
arises.
to get like a weed license or something. Like that.
The issue, even with
They'll definitely need a weed license.
even with a weed license, though, you can still get a DUI.
Yeah.
DWI.
Driving while intoxicated.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
What's the difference?
Driving under the influence.
I think it's a state by state thing.
Oh.
I didn't know we had DWI. I thought it was just DUI. I thought it was just driving under the influence.
Driving while intoxicated.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I really don't know.
Because I know like a lot of states have like you'll get a DWI before you'll get a DUI, like in Massachusetts and stuff.
Mass. Let's see.
That was a question.
DWI. versus DUI. Florida. Boom. DUI is short for driving under the influence and is the official term used for drunk driving in Florida. DWI, on the other hand, stands for driving while intoxicated or sometimes driving while impaired.
Yeah. So like weed could be classified under that.
DWI, not DUI.
Yeah.
So it's
DUI
under the influence of alcohol, not under the influence of alcohol and
Other substances.
So DWI takes everything else.
like pills, opiates,
Yikes. Hard stuff.
coke.
Meth.
The hard stuff.
Heroin.
Well, fuck. I mean,
We're just listing off drugs at this point. All right, back on topics. Just going. I was going in. I was going with the dark ones.
well, I mean, how do you feel about it now that it's federally legal?
Some ganja.
Is it? Is it federally legal now?
Yeah.
They passed it.
The bill passed.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Didn't change my life.
Yeah. Basically.
Well, that's why I asked. I was gonna get to you, but I was like, yeah.
I mean, same. To his point, it doesn't change my day to day at all. If people on the podcast didn't know this, I personally never smoke weed. Ever, never touch the stuff. Just kidding.
He's a saint.
But
that doesn't make you a saint.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't really change my everyday life because as of the past couple of years, I mean, you've known this for sure. I've slowed down in smoking anyways.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't really buy it by myself anymore. I rarely ever smoke by myself. That'd be like a rare occurrence if you find me smoking by myself. So it's like it wouldn't really change for me.
As far as like legal stuff though.
Legal, I mean, if it was in stores and stuff.
No,
like,
I'm talking about like people who have like charges or like.
Those aren't getting dropped.
Well, yeah, that's a thing I had said about it. Like, if it would be one thing if since they're making it federally legal, if they were like doing some sort of reform or prison reform where they're like all these weed charges specifically,
non-violent offenders.
Yeah, your sentences are either dropped or like, all right, time served. Sorry, this was the law. You're good now, but.
I know people are fighting for that. I'll be shocked if it happens.
I'll be shocked as well, just because it's like once, at least the legal system, it's a scam. Once they got you type thing.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money, man.
I don't really
it's
think.
It's going to be a fucking huge fucking loss of money if they do that shit.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen. For people we know that have had arrests in the past, it's not like that's going to be written off.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like, oh, okay, you spent that money. I feel like it might help, though, for if you have gotten arrested in the past, like, it can't come back to like haunt you type shit anymore because it's like, oh, it's federally legal now. I don't feel like a job wouldn't second guess it.
Yeah.
I think what you'll see is, sorry to cut you off, is that, and if you're currently under arrest for those things, I could see them.
Yeah, giving you like some leeway.
Like if you're on probation or stuff like that, I could see them kind of doing away with that and kind of.
You're good.
Yeah, all is forgiven.
Well, you would think so, but I mean, I go back to your point. If you're already on probation, they'd be like, well, this just happened. Like, we got you 2 months ago. Sorry, buddy.
Right. Yeah,
you got to finish your 9 months.
Yeah, because depending on how much probation, that's
Correct.
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money that they would lose.
I'm just saying I could see that before I see them expunging all.
Yeah, for sure,
arrests.
for sure. But it's just one thing I believe that. Yeah, it's kind of not going to do anything for my everyday life.
Guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it really.
I'll be just as happy with or without it being federally legal. I'll say I've broken the law before because I've smoked it with or without. So, fuck it.
Oh, shit.
Doesn't really change.
They're just the education on it. I think has to be better.
The education on it has to be better. And I feel like now that it's federally legal, the consequences clearly are.
Well,
gone.
that's a misnomer. Like kids are not going to be able to sell weed. Like that is still going to be illegal.
I mean, yeah.
As it should. I feel like, but there's always going to be a market for it because legal or non-legal, there's still always people. Even in Washington, for example,
there's a black market for everything.
Yeah, there's always a market for people not wanting to go to a dispensary or
so
this guy's closer.
That'll still be illegal.
Yeah, and it should be.
But
I
the
feel
people
like
smoking it will not be illegal.
Yeah, just like drinking. You know, if you go to a
bootleggers,
moonshine.
If you go to a liquor store and go buy some liquor off a liquor store, that's fine. But if you're going to someone's house to go buy some moonshine, that is illegal. You can't do that. So
it's illegal to sell moonshine. It's not illegal to make it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're going to someone's house and buying it off of someone, then
that's
then
just like it's technically illegal to grow weed. So there's that.
There's gonna be loopholes to everything, though. People are gonna find a way to still fucking be
I'm sure.
little heathens.
And I'm sure, like, once it comes to light, like, and it's probably going to go state by state as well.
Yeah.
That we'll have to deal with some newfound law about it. But like I said, it could still lead to other things. Like, they might, say, okay, weed's legal. But then the minute, like, they're watching people smoke or something, they get into a car, boom, arrested for that.
It's
like,
crazy.
there's going to be a way for something to.
It's crazy how much, like, we, like, see these things over and over in society where, like, the surge of one direction, it gets, like, pulled back by, like, the government and stuff like that. Like, when we were kids, like, how booming, like, stealing music was. Like, that's just how it was. And, like, the music industry and the government came up with, like, streaming platforms, and now you pay a subscription price, and they're more willing to, like, stop stealing music if it means, like, all right, I can get everything I want, but you're not, like...
For the most part.
Yeah, you're making it more accessible.
For more accessible and stuff like that. And, movies pirated and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to pirate movies anymore because HBO has every movie ever made, Netflix and stuff like that.
I mean, it's the convenience of shit because before for the movie thing, you're going...
You had to go to Blockbuster.
Yeah, you're going to Blockbuster, buying hard copies of that shit. And, I mean, now it's...
And if they didn't have it...
now it's so easy. It's like, I have this now, and you can even rent movies, like... on fucking
which
streaming.
Is stupid.
So you're literally paying like $4 to rent
never
a movie,
see that movie.
Rent movie for a 24-hour period, and then it just goes away when you could just. Which I mean,
but people are willing to pay for convenience.
It's whether you are willing to wait or not.
Exactly.
Those are like new movies, I'm guessing, correct?
No, you can.
No,
rent.
like there's movies from like 1980
like if you go
that
to
aren't streaming that are on Amazon rent for $4.99.
Yeah, like if like on Vudu or like these streaming platforms, you could instead of buying the movie, you could just rent it for 24 hours for $4.
Redbox is still a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's still right there.
So it's like, and again, like to your point, it is just a matter of how much you're willing to pay for convenience. And nowadays, people are willing to pay however much for convenience. I mean, with Uber, you could go drive to fucking McDonald's and get your $10 meal for $10, or I don't feel like getting out of my house.
Pay $17 for a $10 meal,
and then still have to tip, and then there's the fucking this.
But everything has gone up though with inflation because.
Well, this was before inflation. This was before inflation though. Like you were paying a fucking extra $7-8 for your
lunch is what
for
hurts.
your McDonald's and shit for, for Uber Eats.
I have no problem with dinner being like 20 or more, but like. Every day, breakfast and lunch being 15.
No, that's why you got to start fucking cooking like you are.
I have been.
There you go.
Fuck.
You got to start making your dollar go farther for you.
Try to.
Plus,
shopping.
I mean,
every time I hit Publix though.
Oh yes, I'm spending between $80 and $100 every time.
There's not a time I've been in Publix where I don't spend $100.
It's so easy to spend $100 in Publix.
I feel like I don't even get anything. I get
exactly.
like 5 little items and $102. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, fuck.
I sent Isabel there with a very short list.
But again, with Publix,
and I was like, oh, I should be good. This is pretty short. Here's my credit card. Comes back the bill, $106. I'm like,
but that's the one thing with Publix, because you could go to Walmart and get the same shit. But I've accepted the fact that I pay for the convenience fee for Publix because their food and meats are usually a lot fresher. It's a more clean, and it is a little bit more expensive.
At least for me, my shit is right there. Like,
you have a Publix
driving.
Right there.
It would be out of my way to go to a Walmart.
Yeah. But people will do that because it's less expensive. I mean, you're getting the same shit but
it's true.
You kind of pay what you get
make
for.
Your dollar last.
Yeah, you kind of pay what you get for. At Walmart.
Get what you pay for.
And what did I say? Pay what you get for. Get what you pay for. Yeah.
I could actually. You know what though? I should probably.
But Publix is just a fucking great place.
Make the U-turn, bust a left, and go to Aldi.
You could. Aldi's is a fucking.
That's what I should do.
They're cheap and they have quality food.
That's what I fucking should do.
Yeah, but fuck Walmart. I don't even like getting like my bags of chips at Walmart. Maybe it's just because I'm bougie at this point and I'm spoiled.
Nah, besides like
I'll go to Walmart for like my cleaning shit, like my laundry detergent and paper towels and shit like that, because that
bulk items.
Yeah, but like my food, I don't really like getting it from Walmart. And again, I might sound like a fucking, I might sound like a bougie fucking asshole right now, but Publix got me.
Yeah,
they can take all my fucking money. I don't give a shit.
They've taken all of my Publix. I need at least a 10% stake in the company. Y'all get me for everything.
If you fucking work there, they give you.
I know.
They give fucking great benefits at Publix.
Yeah.
And apparently, you can only even if you just work one day a week, you get like the full benefits and shit. Like,
sign me
shit's
up.
Fucking wild. Good old Publix.
Be there all day on a Saturday.
You know a little off topic again. That Chick-fil-A that's on Tuscaloosa.
The one that they're making across the street.
Yeah. Did you see how big they're making that thing?
Yeah.
It's to make a more convenient drive.
Yeah. That thing is fucking huge.
And then they're going to close that one.
Good old Kidstown is now Chick-fil-A. Or they're working on it.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to put at that old Chick-fil-A.
A bank.
Right next to Bank of America.
Whatever. They'll make
They
something.
throw a bunch of bank. Actually, that plaza, the Chase in that plaza, just got like vandalized. The ATM.
Chase. And what?
And
Next to
Oh,
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Tried to go deposit some
Vandals.
cash, and I was like,
Truist is over there.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the corner. Seen that.
Truist is taking over the bank
They
game.
bought SunTrust.
They bought, and what other, I thought they bought SunTrust in another bank. Well, they did, and they're fucking popping
That's
up.
the only one I've ever seen.
They
so.
fucking, it
No,
was like
they're-
overnight too, it seemed like.
Yeah, they just bought a bunch of SunTrust.
And they just started putting up their signs overnight. SunTrust is
They're
no
like, we'll
more.
show you.
For real.
Literally.
Like I said, I had never seen them until that one. I was like, oh,
Me
oh,
either.
new bank.
Oh, I think it was BB&T. SunTrust and BB&T that they bought.
That makes sense.
Because Steven, I think, banks with BB&T, and he was telling me that.
Interesting.
Boom. Learn something new every day.
Do.
Side note, too. Are we going to close out with a pre-recorded outro, too?
We can.
I feel like that would just make sense.
All right. We can end it whenever then.
All right. Everybody love everybody. Fuck you.